game give you guys the sense that you got a steal in him in the fifth round?
Well, we got a lot to prove there yet, obviously, but he is getting better. They play him at a lot of different positions. He'll play the nose. He'll play the three technique. You'll even see him at end at times, playing a lot of snaps for a rookie, but making progress, and I'm sure he's sore today as well.
When you look at the tape at Brandon Parker and the way he played coming in for Donald, what did you see out of that?
He did well. He did some good things. He had a couple plays that he needs to clean up, but when you go in that game, it's an obvious passing situation, really, up-tempo, and all the chips are on the table to go in there and play against a team like Cleveland who's blitzing repeatedly. I thought he did some good things. We're pleased with both our rookie tackles. I know it was a sore topic when we drafted both of them a few months ago with some people, but we need those two guys.
So not a lot of teams play two rookie tackles at the same time.
No.
What are the challenges with that as a coach?
Well, we got a lot of first-year players playing. It's a challenge. I don't remember any team doing that, but Colt Miller's been very good for us. And, Tom Cable, one of the best line coaches in the league. Fortunately, we have him to help fast-track these guys. But we'll have our hands full this week for sure.
What does it mean? What does it mean to get Daryl Worley back in the mix this week, and how do you involve him with already a pretty?
We like Worley. We like Worley, the job that he did in the off season. He's a good player. We'll see where he is, and we'll make any adjustments that we need to make in a few days, just after we see where he is.
You talked yesterday about the importance of a guy like Rodney Hudson. Can you talk some about his study habits and kind of how he goes about his practice week that allows him to be so adept at what's going on?
Well, he just takes tremendous pride. If you ever see him in a meeting room, he is locked in from the very beginning to the very end. A lot of guys have a hard time concentrating, especially when I'm installing plays because it's pretty boring. But Hudson is locked in from the very beginning. And when we go out and have a walkthrough, we walk through every blitz. We walk through the calls and the communication that we'd like to see happen. And then he'll give us his interpretation, and then we'll go through it in practice, and then we'll give it to him full speed. And we'll give him some chaotic looks that we think they're going to run that they haven't run before, and he can handle those. But he loves football. He's passionate about the game. I think his ability to concentrate when he's here at a high level really helps everybody around him. And he's got two great guards playing next to him, two young tackles that rely on quick, concise communication. And every once in a while, Derek will get up there and change it. So it's a very complex matter, but it's great to have a center like that on your team.
What sort of toughness did you see from Carr? Not just physical, but maybe more so even mental?
He's a tough guy. There's not a lot you don't like about him. I mean, he stood in there and made a throw to Jared Cook yesterday. Deep pattern down the left sideline. He got punished on a cross dog blitz, threw the interception on a deep ball to Martavis, and came back and played his best football. So he showed mental, physical toughness. Those are two things you got to have to be a great quarterback, and he showcased it yesterday.
Coach, kicker Matt, obviously crazy story a couple weeks ago. He said he was working on an investment housing project or whatnot. But he mentioned after he kicked the game-winning field goal, it meant a lot to talk to you after the game just to get your kind of vote of confidence. What do you think seeing that kick go through and helping the team win a game can do for his confidence moving forward?
I hope it does a lot for him. I think we missed a couple field goals, put him in some tough spots, obviously on the dirt, long-range field goals. But I thought his kickoffs were good. I certainly think when you make a game winner, it's good for your confidence.
What did you think of just sort of the overall defensive effort yesterday? There was some big plays allowed, but also the takeaways that you mentioned were missing before.
We got some takeaways. We got to play better on defense. Obviously, we got to eliminate these big plays. I think Chubb had 3 carries for 105 yards. I've never seen that. It's got to eliminate the big plays. We had a breakdown in coverage one time on a huge pass play. Should never happen in the coverage that we were in. We just got to eliminate the 5 or 6 plays per game that are dearly costing us. That's very uncharacteristic of our style of defense. We've got to tackle better when we are in one-on-one situations, and we've got to eliminate these big plays. But there is some great effort, some great individual and collective effort, but we got to figure out how to solve these big plays.
Think you're fast enough on the back end?
Well, I don't know if anybody's fast enough on the back end if some of these guys get loose. We can't let these guys get loose. It's a combination of a lot of things, but acceleration and speed shows up in the open field sometimes when guys get clean into your deep secondary. But we've got guys that can play back there. We just got to get everybody playing together better.
How integral was field position yesterday in terms of not only the takeaways but the work on special teams, including Dwayne Harris?
It was big. Dwayne Harris was huge yesterday. Not only with the return, he made 2 tackles, he forced a penalty. He'll be our special teams player of the week. But we talked about it the last few weeks. We had the worst starting field position in football over the first 3 games, by far. And, when you get the ball back in decent field position, you can take some shots, and that we did.
You glad to see common sense prevail on the Cromartie hit after they talked first, and then, seems like their initial inclination is to throw flags now, but to get together and decide, all right, no, not that one.
That was a good job picking that flag up. Playing a zone coverage and a wide receiver's running a crossing route, he's got to sit down in zone. He ran right through a zone, and if you run through a stoplight, you're going to get hit by a car, and that's really what happened. And I thought Cromartie did a great job avoiding head-to-head contact. He didn't lower his head. He hit him with the shoulder, and it's a great lesson for all receivers out there. If you're playing against zone coverage, you don't stay on the move. You sit down. And I'm glad they picked that flag up, honestly. I wish they would have let Marshawn Lynch continue on the run. I thought that was a touchdown. Anyhow.
He wasn't so lucky earlier in the game.
Yeah, I didn't like that call either. The calls that go against us, I don't like. The calls that do, I do.
The replay review on the spot, was that a...
It was a good call by the official. It was a great call. We challenged the spot ourselves. If you remember, didn't win that challenge, but look, it's tough. We've got people officiating the game, making calls that aren't even in the stadium. We've got a lot of electronics and technology everybody likes to use nowadays, and boy, are we using it.
Markel Lee played about 40 more snaps than Derek Johnson. What would you say that's a testament to?
Markel Lee is playing pretty good for us, and he's earning the right to play. Sometimes it's the situation. Sometimes it's just going with the hot hand. But we're going to use all our linebackers here in the coming weeks.
You mentioned all the young guys playing. Has that affected at all the game planning in terms of how did you guys approach it coming into the season? Did you have to slow things down a little bit, or kind of dumb things down a little bit, or just kind of hit the ground running kind of deal?
Not really. We have, we've run a lot of different plays. We use a lot of different types of personnel groupings. Check with me as we give Carr the green light to showcase his preparation. If he sees something, we give him the green light to go get it. And in so doing that, everybody around him has to be able to play at that level too. But this is a process that hopefully we continue to show improvement. I think offensively we're doing some good things. And it's a credit to both these young tackles because they are smart, they are athletic, and they're really into football, and they're well coached by Cable. So I think that combination, day in, day out, is helping us big time.
There weren't that many snaps after that long pass play to Callaway, where Conley was kind of trailing him. Was Conley sat down at that point, or was he just kind of out for just in terms of the rotation?
Yeah, we're trying to get Cromartie in the game. Honestly, we're trying to roll some guys in there. It was one of the longest games ever yesterday, and we're still trying to find the right mix on defense. Still trying to find the right combination, but we do have some guys that we're going to move in and out of the lineup at times.
You want to get to the point where you have the same cornerback pair in the base defense playing?
Yeah, you'd like that. Yeah, you'd like to have that.
Is Brandon Parker pushing Donald at right tackle?
Parker's pushing on everybody. Parker is interesting. You know, he's been hurt. He's had that ankle problem that's been, you know, pretty persistent for a while. He's just now getting well. And he's a very intelligent guy, very athletic kid. Started 4 years in college, and there's a lot of upside there. I mean, I think he could be a left tackle or a right tackle, and he's gonna be a good player. I believe that.
There was a forward progress call when Derek Carr was sacked, and so the strip was nullified on that. I'm sure the Browns would say that that should have been a fumble. What did you see on that play?
I thought it was a good call. I mean, there's a lot of judgment calls out there. You know, you can challenge plays, you can send it to New York City and let them review it. You know, I mean, there's a lot of bang plays out there that are hard to officiate, and you know, I'm just happy we won a game.
How cognizant are you of managing Marshawn's workload, given the violent way he runs, or do you just have to let him go?
If that's not a Hall of Fame back, I don't know what is, honestly. I mean, what he did yesterday, what he's done since he's been here is incredible. You know, he wants the ball more and more and more. We got a good back over there, Doug Martin, is ready to roll. And Doug can't get on the field. This guy does not want to come off the field. He picked up 6 or 7 blitzes yesterday, too, that no one's talking about. But some of the runs, good night. Why would you have a quick whistle with Marshawn Lynch? I don't understand how you can blow a whistle like they did yesterday. But some of the runs he's making, some of the finishes and determination that he's putting on tape is it's unbelievable. I don't see many guys in football running like this.
But you're not concerned about the way that he runs?
Not until he tells me.
Keeping him go through there, yeah?
You know, I just keep patting him on the back. You know, hey, you ready to go? I check on him periodically. And when he can't go, we go to Doug. And Jamal Singleton, our running back coach, has done a great job making sure that, you know, Marshawn is in the game when he feels like he can be in a game. And when it's time to go to Jalen in some unique situations, we go to Jalen. And hopefully in the coming weeks we'll be able to get some two halfback sets going like we used to around here.
How would you assess your red zone offense at this point?
Not bad. You know, not bad. We had a couple tough moments yesterday, but we also had some great plays. Key is getting down in the red zone. You know, get down in there and get points. Don't turn it over. I think we've turned it over a couple times in previous games, but pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with it, honestly.
You've obviously seen a lot of the league's top tight ends over the years in your travels. Where do you think Jared Cook ranks among that? Not ranks, but do you think maybe he gets lost in the shuffle of the Gronkowskis, Kelce's, those guys?
Well, I think he's pretty good. I mean, wherever he's played, he's been very good as a receiver. I think he's probably an unheralded blocker. You know, he's a better blocker, I think, than people think. He's very good after the catch. You can line him up anywhere. He played wide receiver, Swanee, Georgia, so you can line him up in the slot. You can put him out there at wide receiver. He can mismatch you big time. I love him. I mean, he's having a great year for us, and, man, is he competing. He's a weapon for us.
We've spent some time this season talking about the fast starts offensively in terms of first possession. Your defense has forced a 3-and-out at the start of all 4 of its games. To what do you attest to that and your impressions of that fast start?
Do I attest that too? I give Coach Gunther, our coaches, credit, players credit. You know, they're coming out ready to go. They're locked in. They're ready to roll, and we just got to sustain it. But I learned from Bobby Knight a long time ago, the first 5 minutes of each half are usually key ingredients in winning. And that's something we got to continue to emphasize, starting fast. We try to do that in every practice period. You know, when it's a defense's turn, we try to start fast. Offensively, we want to start with success. And, you know, you don't want to stub your toe on the first play of the game or start in a negative tone.
You seem to have spoken a lot with coaches from other sports, you know, not just in the NFL, but baseball managers, basketball. How much philosophically do you take from speaking to others who lead athletes?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, you know, it's a unique profession. Obviously, in the last 8 or 9 years, I had a chance to, you know, meet a lot of really neat people, and there's a lot of analogies. There's a lot of things that we have in common. Basketball coaches, football coaches, golf coaches, coaches in general, different levels. They're all leaders. they're all trying to motivate and teach, and they're all faced with significant challenges these days. So try to draw from everybody.
Is there a different feel when you come back on a Monday after a win, or are you already moved on?
Yeah, pretty much ready to go. You start seeing the Chargers, and you see Phillip Rivers, and it's hard to rejoice in your victories for very long. We got a real challenge. Ingram is unbelievable, and Derwin James is a good player, and Bosa, they tell me, he's coming back. So we got work to do.
You anticipated jet sweeps correctly. The Browns certainly ran a number at you guys. What did you take from the defense?
I thought we did a good job. The one on the goal line, the play that Kansas City ran twice against the Chargers going around the league like, I don't know, it's like the rage. You almost saw it coming, and, knock down the jet sweep yesterday was really a credit to our preparation. Guys on the details. You got to set the edge. You can't let these plays get out in the open.